Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Hi, this is Terry Moore representing Michigan Golfer TV with our special guest today, legendary golf instructor Jim Flick. Well, Jim, welcome to Grand Rapids, and I know we're real proud to have you as the headliner for the West Michigan Golf Show. Jim, the first question I got to ask you, you told me the other day a little bit of trivia that not even Ken Jennings from Jeopardy might know, and that is your roommate at Wake Forest. From what you told me, you were a basketball scholarship winner at Wake Forest. Who was your roommate that freshman year?
Well, my freshman year was a man named Charlie Kirsch and Jack Mueller, but I did room with Arnold my junior year for about 4 months. We both had roommates killed in an automobile accident, and so Arnold took his roommate's body home, and I did the same. And when we returned, we roomed together. And then Arnold joined the Coast Guard. The accident was in October, and Arnold joined the Coast Guard in February. So we roomed together at that point, and little did I know that he was going to be one of the legends of the game, and a chance to spend some time with him, Terry. You know how guys of an evening will sit around and kind of talk and visit about players and things, but it was really fun.
Now that's how you went to Wake Forest though on a basketball scholarship, and you were from the Hoosier State of Indiana.
That's very true, and that was back when slow, short white boys could play. So you know that's been a long time ago. No, I started at Wake in '49. I graduated in '52, and I lettered as a freshman on the freshman team. Then I was redshirted my sophomore year, but I had a varsity letter in both basketball and golf my senior years.
Jim, what's the genesis of you being in as a golf instructor? How did that all come about? Was there a particular person, was a mentor for you, or what was the catalyst for your passion for the game early on?
Terry, I never quite thought about it just that way, but after I got out of the service, I had a Bachelor of Business Administration degree, and I interviewed for a job at the bank, and didn't think that was going to be very exciting. So I interviewed for an assistant professional job at Big Springs in Louisville, Kentucky. And Mr. Jack Ryan told me my duties and what I was going to do. And I said, Mr. Ryan, will I get to play much golf? And he said, yes, Jim, on 2 occasions, on rainy days and after dark. And I thought, golly, this may not be where I want to be. And Don Fishasher, I had met, was the head professional at Evansville Country Club in Evansville, Indiana. And Don gave me a chance to come there as an assistant and a teaching assistant. And I wasn't very well prepared, Terry, in all honesty, but it was kind of the job description they had, and I did some teaching. But the next year I was a head professional, a little 9-hole course in Connersville, Indiana, and found out how much I really enjoyed and the energy that you get from helping people. One thing led to another, and then Bob Toski called me and gave me a chance to join him in the Golf Digest schools. And Bob was kind of the pioneer of putting together golf schools. It was his idea. And we formed a team that later on brought in Peter Costas and Davis Love and John Elliott and Jack Lumpkin and Chuck Cook and Tom Ness and just a number of guys that made their careers in teaching. Started coaching Jack in 1990.
Talk a little bit about that. When did you first meet Jack, and then when did you first establish a teaching-pupil relationship with Jack?
First time I met Jack was when I was the head professional at Lassanaville. He came there to play in a tournament called the United States Pro Amateur Championship. And he played with his golf coach there, and then he played with Pando Savic and some guys that really gave me a chance to meet Jack, but not to coach him. And then Mr. Grout, of course, was coaching Jack at that time and died in about, I think it was 1988, in the fall of 88, and Jack was kind of going through a number of guys to find somebody that he felt he wanted to trust his game with. And he came to the tradition in 1990 to play his first senior tournament. And he was working with a teaching professional, had him trying to clear his hips and do a lot of things that were not in concert with how Mr. Grout had taught him, and Jack was really struggling. I had watched Mr. Grout teach Jack for a number of years and knew exactly how he approached things, so I just did nothing more than give Jack the same lessons that Mr. Grout gave him. And he won the tournament, went to Augusta and finished 5th the next week. And he called me and asked me to put together the golf school program for him, which we did for about almost 10 years, Nicholas Flick Schools.
And it seemed like one thing that you did offer, and you alluded here, is that you did provide a continuity in his teaching that he carried on as a young boy with Jack Rout right there at Scioto and Columbus. And what are those fundamentals that you carried on from Jack Rout to Jack? I think we'd be curious about that.
The first thing I did was to try to get Jack back to swinging and using the head of the golf club and getting his arms relaxed. It was kind of funny. He said, "What do you see when you watch me swing?" And I said, "I don't see Jack Nicklaus." He said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, you don't feel the club head anymore." And he said, "How can you tell that?" And I said, "Well, your body is out of time with the club head." And he said, "Can you fix that?" Well, not wanting to let Jack intimidate me, I said, "Probably wouldn't be a golf pro if I didn't think I could fix that." He said, "Well, when can you do that?" So I looked at my watch and said, "About 5 minutes from now." I mean, you got to tease a little bit and make people have fun. So we said, "Well, let's go find out." So the first thing we did was get the tension out of his hands and arms and take him back to how Mr. Grout used to get him to release the golf club and swing the head of the club. And that brought back a number of the old things, Terry. So it was soften the arms and get him back to using the head of the golf club.
Well, Jim, I want to thank you for spending some time with us today on Michigan Golfer TV at the West Michigan Golf Show. It's been a real pleasure having you at the show. And thank you for watching this special segment with Jim Flick for Michigan Golfer.